Stan Johnson. Oh, yes, Stan Johnson. You should not be a favorite at home against Yale. No, you shouldn't, Stan. You really shouldn't. Happy Monday, everybody. We're back starting the second week of college basketball here at FTN. Been killing it. Mike Kutri's on pace for 550 units in college basketball props. I think that's all you need to know. We've had a really good week as well. Scalding hot with the sides, totals, a couple props in there. Thank you, Ryan Kalkbrenner. You can relax. You can sit back and not get to 15 points. We'll take the 13 there and your comfortable win yesterday. Today is a shorter day, not as many plays. We have a couple already that I put in the tracker. We have a couple I'm going to add, and I found some extra ones as well that I liked. Last night I grabbed a couple right away. Those that were in the Discord got them. That's why you have to. Let's see what we got here. We got some people in here. Dustin, first-time viewer here. Don't follow college basketball too closely, but I've been telling you and Kutri last few days has gone quite well. Dustin, we welcome you. We welcome you to the show, my friend. We will come here 3 times a week, Dustin. Today, tomorrow, and Friday for this week. It alternates. Usually it's Monday, Wednesday, Saturday once the season gets going, but until NFL, those are the days we're going to go. Trevor in the house. You know it is, Trev, you want to run? We're going to try to keep it going. Al, good to have you back as always, my friend. There you go. And Trevor, DePaul's fade. Yes, DePaul's fade is a great call by you. Fade DePaul at all costs. So we got a few picks here today. Let's see how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we got about 10 that I like. Could be adding some first half plays, things like that. Let's take a look and see how we do. First one up here, St. John's -2.5 versus Michigan. Put it in last night. Liked it at 1.5. They'll like it at 2.5. Here's the deal with Michigan. You know I like to fade Michigan. Juwan Howard, hope everything's okay. Had the heart surgery. He's recovering. Phil Martelli, probably the best assistant coach in the country. However, Michigan 12 of 26 from three-point range against Asheville. That's 46%. Michigan 26 of 40 from the field. That's 65% against Youngstown State. Don't think that's sustainable efficiency for the Wolverines, who will be traveling to MSG tonight for St. John's. Red Storm is not letting Will Shetter go 4 for 4 from three-point range like he did against Youngstown State. Nkamwa has come up from Tennessee. The big guy inside for Michigan has played very well. I think he's going to have a lot of trouble with Joel Soriano and the Red Storm tonight. This is Patino's first game in the Garden. We're going to ride with St. John's -2.5. Bets coming in on Michigan, money coming in on St. John's. We don't go by that completely on its own, but it's a nice sprinkle on the Sunday. Next up, Massachusetts -7.5 versus Quinnipiac. Those that know me probably thought I was going Quinnipiac here, but the early returns of that Frank Martin has it going in Amherst after a rough first season. Josh Cohen is a beast inside for them. He's the co-NEC player of the year from last year, had 22 points, 8 rebounds, first game against Albany. It was a comfortable win. Daniel Hankins, Sanford, South Carolina transfer, really long, great on defense, 3 blocks. This team, remember the first year when you're a coach, the team isn't really yours. This team is really Frank Martin's. You know they're going to play defense. You know they're going to go deep on the bench. You know they're going to push you around. I don't think Quinnipiac's ready for that tonight. I'm laying in here. Quinnipiac playing under Fordham coach Tom Pecora has not been a head coach since 2015. Love Tom Pecora when he was at Fordham. Think it's going to take a while here. His first year, don't think so. Quinnipiac barely beat Central Connecticut at home. I think they get roughed up tonight. Don't mind the first half line if you want to do that either. I believe in Miami. I liked them last year, had them in the Final Four. It was a great run with them. I believe this team is going places again, and I like Jim Larinaga. Again, one of the most reliable people in terms of getting his team ready. I like this Miami team a lot, and I have no reason not to take them home here against FIU. I took FIU against UCF. It was a disaster. They got blown out at home by Tarleton State by 17. You want to say this is a Florida rivalry game? Get out of here. This is a dominant Miami team. They beat UCF by 16, got us the cover. Nigel Pack, only 11 points, didn't hit a 3. That changes tonight. Matthew Cleveland's come over from Florida State, super athletic guard. They had 5 guys in doubles. Wooga Poplar has been fantastic. Mike Kutri nails his prop multiple times for points. And, of course, Norchad Omir inside 19 and 10. Assuming they stay out of foul trouble, they're great on defense. They get turnovers. We will lay the points here with Miami. I think they pull away for a comfortable cover. Love laying these points with mismatches between dominant teams and small schools at home early in the year when I have a good head coach, when I have a veteran team, and I have a good defensive team. I like it. I don't like it when it gets to 30, but I like it when it's around 20. That's fine. Yeah, I mentioned this one in the Discord last night. Presbyterian against Citadel. I like Presbyterian. I like this team. They are a veteran team. They've gotten players back. Very, very successful here. Like to press, get up and down the floor. And who I got to see Presbyterian against where I said, you know what? Maybe this team is pretty good. out of the Big South. They played Vanderbilt 68-62. Now, Vanderbilt was missing a lot of players coming in that game, but they are a good defensive team. They get up and down the floor. They shoot threes. They're athletic. They get in the passing lanes. Now they're home today against Citadel. Citadel likes to shoot. They like to run. Not exactly a super experienced team with Citadel, starting a couple sophomores. Presbyterian looked good on defense, played well at Vanderbilt, got the win. We got the huge money line hit at halftime. I like this Presbyterian team. It's a small number. This is a rivalry. Both schools in South Carolina, but we'll take Presbyterian, the Blue Hose, -3.5. It's a team I have liked historically. No one really knows about them. They're good at home. Citadel can turn it over, like the length of Presbyterian and their defense. Come on, you knew this was coming. Rivalry game. I'm not sold on Villanova yet. Villanova looked good in their first couple games. I don't think they shoot as well in the Palestra. They blew out American. I lost that cover there with American, and they blew out Lemoyne. Congratulations. But this is a rivalry down in Philadelphia. It's at the Palestra. This is going to be a close game. You have Steve Donahue, does a good job in the Ivy League. Yes, Penn lost to St. Joe's, but they had a good 80-point outburst against Bucknell, played well. They rebound well. It's just too many points. Listen, Villanova may be the real deal. Villanova is one of these teams that I'm not sure of yet. They could be really good. They have all the veterans back. They're trying to get things healthy here, be right from instead of last year when they were struggling and they didn't have any full health the entire year. Kyle Neptune, not sold on him as a coach. There's some whispers about Kyle Neptune. We have to see, but he's got a veteran squad. They play at a very slow pace, Villanova, which also plays into our hands. So it's hard for me to see them blowing out. If it was home, not sure. At the Palestra with Penn, I'll take 12. Good Ivy League team in Penn. Rivalry game, always like it. Warning here to those who have attended the show the last couple years. I am not great with Duquesne. Not great with Duquesne. We know this. I like Keith Danbro as a coach, and I like Duquesne when they're an underdog against a really good school, particularly at home. But in this case, I like Stony Brook in this matchup. Stony Brook was a team that had high hopes last year, but they came into the year. They had a lot of injuries last year. Gino Ford's in his 5th season. 2 years ago, they had a very, very strong year. They had injuries, but this team this year, look at their starters. Grad student, senior, junior, veteran team, back, very strong. Now they're at Duquesne. Duquesne can get very sloppy with the ball. They can turn it over. You saw them in that first game, and people who bet them, you were in the chat, you were worried the entire time, which I totally understand why. Duquesne played Charleston. They were up big, then they were down, then they were up. Very frenetic. This is a solid Stony Brook team that plays good defense, controls the ball, and has athletes. Give me a sleepy spot with Duquesne. Not ready for Stony Brook. You want to hit the first half line. I like that as well. Duquesne is one that I have struggled with. You know that, but I like Stony Brook's length. I like Gino Ford as a coach. I like that their players are healthy. They were really good last year to start the year. Then the wheels fell off the bus. I'll take Stony Brook plus 13.5. Was impressed with Florida Gulf Coast when they played against Indiana. Had a chance to see Florida Gulf Coast in that game against Indiana, and I fade Indiana. I told you, this idea that Mike Woodson is going to go with this unique big lineup is a nightmare. Xavier Johnson went down hurt. He came back in, thank God. But you need guards in today's college basketball system, and I liked how Florida Atlantic attacked it. Now, they didn't play well. They shot 33% from the free throw line, but they battled, okay? I think this is a good spot for them. Pittsburgh had a good one over North Carolina A&T. They won by 48. Pittsburgh had a big one over Binghamton by 39. There is no one here who's taking Florida Gulf Coast tonight. They just think Pittsburgh's going to continue to roll. I have my doubts about that. You want to say this is a low-scoring game? That's fine with me as well. Florida Atlantic, good players, one-on-one, can attack the basket, look good against Indiana, and I don't trust Pittsburgh, and I don't trust Jeff Capel. Good year last year, terrible years the last few years. I think he regresses to the mean this year. Florida Gulf Coast plus 9.5. And you look at this line, it is moving in our direction. We got the Houston pick wrong in the first half. I'm going back to it here, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they're playing Stetson, folks. Stetson was at UNLV on Saturday. Tough game, faded in the second half. Now they have to turn around and fly and play at Houston, a Houston team who did not have a great first half against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They ended up opening it up and winning by 32. I think they covered by a half point. You cannot prepare for what Houston brings. I like Donnie Jones. I like Stetson. Got that pick wrong. I think this is a tough second leg of a back-to-back here against Houston. I like Houston in the first half. I think they come out and pound them, particularly because in the last game, they didn't play well to start the matchup. This is hard. Houston, Stetson, don't have a lot of information on them, but Stetson is not a team that can come back if they're down big. They're going to have to control the tempo. So do I think that they will be able to control the tempo against Houston? No, I don't. Specifically coming off a rough first half against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. This is not a look-ahead spot for Houston. They have Towson and Montana and Xavier coming up. Nothing here. Houston against Stetson. I'm going to lay the points with Stetson. Tough game against UNLV. A lot of turnovers for Stetson, and they don't turn you over a lot either. Houston's going to eat them up here. I'll lay it. I think they get 18, no problem. And my last game, then I'll get to the questions if you have them. Got this right away. It's up to 18.5. Guys, Xavier is not the team that you think they are. They're still living off last year's reputation. No Zach Freemantle, no Jerome Hunter. They beat Robert Morris at home by 14. They beat Jacksonville at home by 23. Now they're going on the road to Purdue. Folks, Purdue has been lethal. Zach Edey inside. They're jumping out to 21-2 leads, 23-8 leads. Good night. Xavier likes to run. Xavier likes to score. Xavier needs to shoot threes well. They are limited on offense. Their defense is not great. It wasn't great last year. They were successful because of the players that they had who could score. Then they lost Freemantle. They lost Hunter. They just weren't the same team this year. So I am laying the points with Purdue, who I think is solid as they come. They have Washington on a neutral. That won't get them going. Bryant, Oakland. They got Houston coming up on December 1st. That's a game that they'll be ready for. But for Xavier, rather. So Xavier has not great games coming up. Purdue does have Gonzaga on a neutral on Monday, November 20th. You want to say they're looking ahead to that? I don't think so because it's a week away. If you told me that Gonzaga, Purdue was in 2 or 3 days, I could get there. I think they're solid in this spot. I like Purdue. Beat Sanford at home big time. Beat Morehead State by 30. The defense, the shooting, the guards have really come to play and improved. And that was the question, is could they get the outside shooting? Yes, they could. Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer. And I believe in this game, we could also be excited because they could finally be at full strength. This Purdue team, totally healthy, excited about that as well. So Purdue, we're laying the point 17.5. That's all we got. Just a few picks today because the slate is small. Let's get to the comments here. They're flying all over the place. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. Trevor's got 2 units on St. John's. I'm with you. I think they come ready to play. I think Michigan has been out-kicking how good they are, out-kicking their coverage on offense. I don't think they shoot well from the outside at Madison Square Garden, and I think St. John's with their depth will eventually wear them down. It just feels like a spot that Michigan is going to struggle here tonight, right? 2 really great games. Head coach change, okay, waiting for Howard to come back. And Conwa have been great from Tennessee. Tonight against Soriano, just doesn't feel like a great spot. Love Miami as well. Hey, yeah, I think Miami is just one of those teams you can rely on, like Purdue. They have the big inside at O'Meara. They have a veteran team. They're experienced. Larinaga. Everything seems to line up. I really want to take Miami team total. They could put up 100 FIU. Yeah, FIU, Trevor, they want to run up and down the court. So I think Miami's more than willing to do that. Hard for me. You want to say this was a contrast in styles. It was a slow down team. I could see that. Maybe Miami not shooting as well. That's not what FIU is. So I think eventually they pull away. IU's going to lose to Wright State and Harvard. They're a mess right now. Yeah, IU is a problem, Trevor, because IU, I don't understand the thinking with Woodson that we're just going to bring in bigs and be different. I don't see it. I like Mike Woodson, did a good job in the NBA. He was with the Knicks for a while, but I don't know if his makeup is the right to teach a team that's primarily bigs to be tough with the guards, which is what they need. They need Xavier Johnson, which is why I lost his ladder on opening night. Xavier Johnson's got to be 16, 18 points per game because the other bigs are all going to be 10 points, 8 points, 7 points, and their defense right now is not where it needs to be. Let's see here. Hi, Roland. Hey, what's up? Hi, Roland. Missouri first half and Pepperdine first half. Let me take a look at that for you right now. Yeah, Missouri versus SIU Edwardsville. They're coming off the loss. It's not a terrible one. SIU Edwardsville was not. They hung around against Dayton that they weren't great. I could get there. What is the line right now with Missouri first half? Let me check that out for you. It's 18.5 right now. So we got first half 10.5. I'd like it at 9.5 to be honest, but I can get there. Missouri coming off a loss, you probably get their best effort. Al's in for the team total. Love it. Yeah, Vince, this is a good one, Vincent. I thought about putting this one up there with Middle Tennessee State. You want to say it's a letdown spot? Here's my concern. Middle Tennessee State is normally really good at home. I've made a lot of money on Middle Tennessee State at home. Western Carolina is coming off the win over Notre Dame, so you would think a letdown spot. That's a tough one. They beat Northern Kentucky, Middle Tennessee State. They did not look great against Stephen F. Austin. They got the win by 5. I don't think they covered that game. Maybe they did, but barely. I think Western Carolina is good. I like Western Carolina. This is a stay away from me. I get it, and I understand your thought process because they're normally really good at home, but Western Carolina scares me because they looked really good against Notre Dame. I get it, but won by 10 on the road. They have guards. They don't turn the ball over. It's a tricky one. I'm away on it. I'm not touching it. Any lean on Oral Roberts versus Missouri State? Yes. This is another one that I probably will put in the app later on. I'm going back to Missouri State here. We lost on Missouri State against West Virginia. They just didn't shoot well, which really bummed me out. Yeah, here it is. They didn't shoot well in that game. Missouri State, 14 of 36, didn't play well. You want to say that's because of West Virginia's defense? I'm not buying it. I just think they had a bad game. So I like Missouri State in this game against Oral Roberts. Remember, Oral Roberts does not have Max Asmith. He's in Texas. You guys know that. I like Missouri State in this game. Wouldn't be surprised I put in the tracker a little bit later. I think, yeah, it's possible, Al. They could cover for sure. On a heater, not yet. No, we've been doing great. We're on a heater. You know, could go the other way. It's going to be up and down. It's going to be a long year. But right now we're hot, so let's see how it's going. Al, on UC Santa Barbara thoughts. That's right. This is another one I think I looked at. Let me see. This is another one I looked at. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, UC Santa Barbara versus UTEP. Yeah, I was staying away on this one. Just not sure. I don't have a read on either team. In either one, I'm not sure. I lean UC Santa Barbara, but not strong enough to do it. LIU covers late. This is another one I think I looked at. LIU. Let me see it here. Hold on. So you're thinking you're getting the backdoor cover there on LIU? Yeah, against Pepperdine. It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. And Pepperdine did play yesterday against Lafayette. What about the first half line there? A little sleepy spot coming out after beating Lafayette. Just my thoughts there. UTEP -3. No read on that one, but good call, Trevor. 240 points is impressive. Yeah, they lost their point guard to the ACL. Yeah, Trevor, I get it. They do. That's right. Thank you for mentioning that. They do. I really like Western Carolina. I just think they look good. I know you're thinking big win at Notre Dame. Notre Dame isn't great. Western Carolina seems well coached. The guards pressure. They're aggressive. If they bring that effort, Middle Tennessee's in trouble. I don't want to touch that game. And if I do, it's going to be Western Carolina. I think that's it, folks. That's what we got. We got all the games in there. Again, not a ton. We will be back again tomorrow. So we're doing Monday, Tuesday, and Friday of this week. Back again tomorrow. Let me get rid of that. There you go. Any questions, let me know. You can hit me up here in the Discord, on Twitter at Randle Rant. We've been doing great. Very excited. Thank you so much for joining us. We're building the show here, folks. 10 units up first week. We're going to try to grind it out. Just think about that. You get 1-2 units a night. You know we can go for the big hits and the parlays, but we make the money and pay the bills by grinding. Just get me 1 unit a day. That's our focus. We're going to keep on rolling here. Thanks so much, guys. We appreciate it. Hit us up, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Same time. Going to hit that Tuesday slate. Until then, enjoy the coffee. Mimosas are coming soon. Love and life. College basketball, there is nothing better.